Okay, we're ready to begin. Thank you for being here, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today for our Fall 2025 Minors Competition. We are so happy you could be here to support our students and celebrate their success. My name is Dr. Nicole Aguilar, and I'm the proud director of the Mike Williams Center here at UTEP. At the center, it is our mission to teach students about innovation and identify opportunities for them to practice creativity and innovation in diverse settings and with diverse others. Hosting this pitch competition is just one of many ways we engage students, help them explore their business ideas, and bring them to life. The students competing today represent undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral levels in the colleges of business, engineering, science, and education. For some, English is not their first language. For others, they are the first in their families to attend college. Some probably had no idea what it would take to get to this point when they signed up. The grit needed to create and deliver for all, the need for a support system like we've created today with your help and support to guide, teach, and challenge them is a necessity. Know you each play a role in their success by being here today. To the student competitors, know that regardless of the outcome of today's competition, we are proud of you. I hope you think about the risk you took to be here, the support you received along the way, the challenges you faced, and the fact that you made it. You were chosen from over 60 business ideas that we received. You deserve to be here, and we are all proud of you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Associate Vice President for Research and Innovation here at UTEP, Dr. Mark Cox, who would like to share a few remarks.
That will be great, so let me get on with the competition. Good morning, and thank you, Nicole and Carla, and likewise, Senator Faris. Welcome to all the community partners sitting up and work on seeing something. Thank you, thanks for your partnership. And I was just in this position last night at the Cardinal Climate. I'm judging for a competition in out there. So these type of events are some of my favorites to attend. Because it's about our students. But maybe I don't really script myself, but I'll talk about myself as a scientist. First, I bet in the importance of a better mindset. Most of us as scientists are not trained in entrepreneurs was impacting and IT production and how to translate our science to another quick. We get no training. So in that way, this traditional model of graduate education was flawed. We're training our students and the discipline. We're not training them to go out to real world and not just translate their science to market and to benefit society, but also to be present and teach. And most of it only teaching, training, either curriculum. And so it's good that we're putting on these events. Opportunities for our students to learn. A lot of our faculty come into the university and things that you have to think about, you don't know about, tend to intimidate you, and that's true of our faculty as well. And many of our faculty tend to shy away from the idea of protecting IP and things like that. And they tend to end up just doing science for the sake of science. If you want to truly do science that has public value, you need to make efforts to try to translate the commercially diversity forward to benefit society that are reading public value. So I'm excited that all the students are here learning to be out here today. They are teachers, not just scientists, but we have students, small ones that we as scientists, unless the scientists need the business folks who have chief financial officers and all of that to do startups, things as well. And so I'm looking forward to the chief presentation to do what I love.
Thank you, Dr. Cox. I'd now like to take a moment to introduce our judges. First, I'd like to introduce David Merrick, who is an AI architect and founder of DropDev Venture Studio. Next, we have Nancy Lowry, who is the Senior Director of Innovation for the Medical Center of the Americas, MCA Foundation. Next, we have Laura Butler, CEO and Executive Director at Pioneers 21 and UTEP. Thank you. Next, we have Alejandro Munoz, who is co-founder of No Border Ventures and UTEP Entrepreneurship Professor of Practice and UTEP alum. And I'd like to welcome Isaac Rodriguez, Economic Development and Strategic Analyst with Borderplex Alliance and UTEP alum.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges, for being here and for being outstanding partners of the Mike Goya Center. We're thrilled to have you here. Now for the rules of the competition. Students will have 5 minutes to deliver their business pitch. At the 5-minute mark, tie will be called, and if students are still delivering their pitch, it will stop at that point. Judges will then have 5 minutes to ask questions. Once again, tie will be called at the 5-minute mark, and questions will stop at that point. Students were randomly assigned the spot in which they will present today, and they will also split into 2 groups. Group 1 will go first, and once we have the last presenter in Group 1, we will pause for lunch, and then we will continue with Group 2 immediately after. Break. I think. I assure you, you are in for a treat. So first up, I would like to introduce our first competitor of the day. His name, John Diaz, and he is here to present on his business idea, Monarch Media. John, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, and hello and welcome to today's Minors Pitch Competition. Before I continue, I'd like to give a huge thank you to the Mike Goya Center of Innovation for putting on this pitch competition in the first place. As stated, my name is John Diaz, and I am the proud owner of Monarch Media. Before I continue, I'd like to pose you all with a question. Everybody here has a favorite brand, yes or no? Now imagine if that brand didn't have the same marketing strategy that it has today. Would that brand still be your favorite? Probably not. Today, that is a problem that most local businesses here in El Paso face, with most local businesses struggling to post consistent content, right, relying on word of mouth and walk-ins as their revenue. Not only that, when they do post, it's often really low quality, off-brand, and random, and it doesn't really reflect how good brand of the quality is. Not only this, they lose attention and an audience to other competitors who are posting consistently and better content, even if their product isn't as great. What Monarch Media offers is a consistent, high-quality content solution that turns attention into revenue. Now, what this does is establish high-quality videos, photos, and Reddit visuals that finally establish the quality of the brand. Not only this, but what we do is we run these social media platforms with consistent posting, strategy, and engagement so owners can focus on what they do best, serving their community. Not only that, what we do is build a presence that establishes credibility that turns attention into real foot traffic and revenue. A little bit about our market validation and market size. Now, the market size for the global economy is sitting at around $645 billion. With the United States market sitting around $240 billion and the El Paso market sitting around $40 billion. Now, the demand is a little bit different, with a global demand of 108 million businesses actively seeking out social media marketing. This means 26 million in the United States and 16,000 located here in El Paso. What Monarch offers is 3 standard packages, starting from the starter, growth, and domination plan. Each one of these plans offers a wide range of posts throughout the month, a content photo shoot, and video schedules throughout the entire month. We also offer basic editing, full content strategy, and brand development for the management. A little bit about our program overview. Now, this will result from a real business located here in El Paso. One of our partners is the Recovery Room located on the east side. As you can tell, we've been able to generate 40,000 organic views, none of these of which have been generated from ads, just content alone. Not only that, we've also been able to generate 429 interactions just off the content that we posted alone. Moving on to the demographic, we have hit 57% of the demographic here in El Paso, meaning that the audience we're targeting is the correct audience. Lastly, our follower engagement sits at 95%, stating that the content that we are posting is going to be actively engaged by the followers that we are hosting. A little bit about our revenue model. As stated, Monarch Media is a subscription-based model that starts from the starter, growth, and domination plan. Now, each plan ranges in price, so the business owners can select what they need for their clientele. We also offer extra add-ons and one-time services such as branded kits and highlight videos for our services. And how we grow is through cold outreach, referrals, and word of mouth, value-based content on our own platform, and we also like to partner with local health and wellness centers such as Brentford AEP and any other health professional that we can get around. Some of the competitors that Monarch faces are going to be sitting with the big agencies, the freelancers, and the DIY business owners. Now, the big agencies, though they charge to the $3,000 and $10,000 mark, their content is very professional and they do provide a full service. However, their content is super overpriced, meaning that local businesses here in El Paso cannot reach those big agencies. Next, freelancers. Though their projects are very, very cheap, their projects are super inconsistent, they have a slow turnaround, and lack strategy behind their content. The DIY business owners are great. They post their own content. However, this does take away from the deliverables, and the content is super low quality, often inconsistent, and doesn't really bring any growth. A little bit about myself. My name is John Diaz. I am a social media creator and videographer. I have a strong network here in the El Paso community, and I carry myself as a former collegiate athlete with the discipline and consistency to perform at a high level. As for the funding, if I were to win this prize, what I would like to do is establish an equipment upgrade, software tools, marketing, and client acquisition and business operations. Though it is not stated, I'll also be taking approximately 5% for each of these categories to establish a contingency fund just as a fall safe if I do need it. Thank you all for your time. I really appreciate y'all's attention, and thank you again to the Michael Center of Innovation for putting on this pitch competition.
Thank you, John. You didn't either. Thank you, John. We didn't need to call title on them. Great job. Judges, the floor is yours.
John, good morning and congratulations. Going first is never easy. Suffering, so great job. Question, you didn't admit, or if you could tell us a little bit more on what your margins are. I'd like to learn more about the scalability of this. Is this something that is just you? And think of having a team? Tell us more about the costs associated.
Sure. So as mentioned, I'd like to establish the business operations. What I like to do is hire some part-time help, a part-time videographer and photographer, so I can focus on what I do, right? Branding the content and scheduling it out. That's what I'm looking for.
Good morning. My question is this. As you're posting this content, how are you tracking real-world outcomes? What's going through the door, actual conversions, purchases, increasing time to marketing campaigns?
Excellent question, brothers. We actually do use AI such as Perplexity, and we use Canva to create and generate our content. Not only that, but we use analytics throughout our services to track those numbers that you specifically said, right? For example, the 14,000 views, that was tracked via Perplexity on the Instagram platform. And we also do have a tracking at the recovery room that generates the clients, or that tells us the clients that we've been able to generate throughout the months.
Yeah. Hi. Tell me about what does day one look like for a client?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. So what we will do is we set you up via a meeting via Zoom. It would get you scheduled out to see exactly what it is that you'll be looking for, right? So I said we do have 3 different plans. So based on what you need, it's how we would funnel the plan decided to what fits your needs most.
Morning, John. Now, you collaborate with one business, right, as of right now. Do you have future plans to collaborate with future businesses, especially in the El Paso County area? And what kind of business are you going to be targeting in terms of what their needs are?
Yes, sir. So we do have actually 2 clients as of right now. However, we just established our second one this month. Now we are targeting mainly health and wellness. That is our main niche. So barbershops, fitness studios, gyms, things of that nature.
So you mentioned you compete on price, but can you share any other competitive advantage that you might have?
Yes, sir. So we actually are a one-to-one type of service, right? So B2B, what we do is we personally connect with the business owners, and it's not just them entering data on a platform. It's them actually collaborating with us to see and tell us exactly what it is that they need for their business.
Thank you. As a one-person team, how do you plan on scaling besides to hires of temps?
Yes, ma'am. So I do want to establish an LLC. From there, I want to hire, as I mentioned, the part-time photographer and videographer. And from there, I want to enhance and develop a software that I can use to help me schedule out better content. Right now, I'm just using a pen and paper as a calendar, and that's what I follow as of right now, but I do want to get a schedule and set software.
Everything in account, the price of that software in your business plan.
Yes, sir. So as mentioned, it's going to be about 20% of the intended earnings.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, John. Congratulations and great job.
Thanks, guys. Now, this guy.
We have built in some transition time, so give us just a few minutes as judges wrap up their notes. Audience members, please don't forget we have water and coffee in the back. So while we are in transition, if you all would like to get food, you're more than welcome.
Test.
And we're cute.
The
What's that?
could you evolve the name? Yeah. People when speaking of it's someone need can you
Judges ready?
that
Okay, we're moving on to our next competitor. She is presenting on her innovative idea called Stress on Paper. Audience, please help me welcome Somaye Mohammadi.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm excited to talk about stress on paper. I used to wish there was an easy way to track my stress, something accessible and instant. So I built one, and today I'm excited to show you how it works. Before I begin, I'd like to ask you a simple question. When was the last time you felt stress? Today? Oh, yeah, that I offer.
so
If you did, your body released a hormone called cortisol. Chronic high cortisol is linked to headache, anxiety, high blood pressure, and weakened immune system. It affects over 70% of adults. We still don't have a rapid test to monitor it in real time. Graduate students try many ways to cope with stress, like physical activity, sleep, traveling, socializing, meditation, and even medication. And none of this measure cortisol level. So cortisol is your body's stress meter. It shows how stressed you are, how well you are sleeping, and how your body is recovering. Stress on paper make it possible to measure it quickly when you need it. Our sensor is really fast and simple. You add a drop of saliva and a strip paper, and just wait for a few minutes, and you can see the color change, and measure your cortisol score and record it by your phone. This device is affordable. It costs less than $10 and requires no lab and a specific equipment. Anyone can use it anytime, anywhere. So it's a true step toward accessible stress monitoring. Global cortisol testing market is rapidly expanding. Project more than doubled from $2 billion to around $4.6 billion by 27. This growth reflects a rising demand for testing cortisol tools, and our device can meet this need. For market size, we start with students at college, around 5 to 10 million, and grow into North America, around 1 to 1.5 billion dollars. And then a global biosensor market is around 4 to 6 billion dollars. We earn some money for testers on a paper through 4 ways. First, we want to just sales for clinics and university, and then direct wellness users and subscriptions that keep it in use, and licensing partnership that let us scale with tech and wellness brands. Current stress tests, they are slow and expensive. Takes around a few hours and cost $100. And they need lab equipment, so you can't use it at all. But our sensor is affordable, costs less than $10, and it works just a few minutes, and you can use it at home when you need it and when you feel stressed. I'm Somaya Mohammadi, a PhD candidate in chemistry and biochemistry department at UTEP, with more than 10 years experience in designing sensor for health and environmental analysis. So with this $3,000, I plan to design and optimize this sensor. With stress on sensor, we can measure stress like our temperature body. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much. Judges, the floor is yours.
I have a couple of questions, and congrats, great job. First one would be, why do people, there are some other competitors up there, why do folks test for cortisol? Like, what are the benefits, or what is it to get to sort of, what is the solution that comes about from measuring?
It's important to measure cortisol because it links to many diseases, like heart disease. And nowadays, many diseases link it to stress level. When we are stressed, we need to find a solution for that. Find a way to get relaxed, and after that, we can be tested, and when it's normal, it shows, people will be fine.
Okay, and my follow-up to that, today, those the people that use these other sensors, is it mostly clinics, and is it hospitals? Like, who's typically doing that? And with that, are you thinking of selling, to them? Is that a B2B product, or are you thinking of this as a consumer product?
There are some very commercial, I mentioned it here. They are a nice shopping detection method for cortisol level, and as I wish, they are time-taking, and then the price is much higher than our sensor, and there are some biosensor for others biomarker detection. For example, for pregnancy tests, it's a kind of sensor base, and I think this paper base is much more accessible for aging temperature.
So my quick question on saliva in general. How reliable is saliva in terms of actually getting cortisol? I know that there's been few talks of using saliva for glucose and other necessities in terms of like medical needs. But how reliable is saliva?
There are several samples that testing cortisol. Like saliva was 7 samples. Saliva is more accessible sample for testing, and in 3 times or morning, afternoon, and at night, you can measure it. And the level of the cortisol in saliva, and it was higher than family serum one. I had a slice, but I slide and I removed it. And for sure, there are some other material inside, and we will use some antibody for modifying the paper in order to have enough selectivity towards the cortisol protection.
So since there are at-home cortisol tests using saliva currently, what's your competitive advantage?
It's completely portable, and we don't need to let the children. After doing the experiment and setting up and preparing this paper-based, we can use it at.
Thank you.
I'm going. So cortisol is linked to, like you said, many different diseases as well as thyroid, perimenopause, Cushing, Addison's, even could help athletes as far as energy levels as well. If you were to receive or not receive funding today, what is next in your research development? As I mentioned, it's more than 10 years in this new central election before cancer biomarker. I focus on women with design surveillance of breast cancer. In my PhD, we have two pending patent for PFAS detection. I love doing research. If I will not have this for sure, I want to do this sensor because I experience stress a lot here as an internationalist that I wanted to do that because I feel it's really important to take care of our mental health. We need to know when this stress is alarming because for sure it turns to anxiety, indulge, and community.
And now it's time. Thank you, Samaya. Great job. Again, please give us just a few minutes and judges can wrap up the meeting.
Rolling.
Oh.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Not there.
Ready.
Spanish. Being is this spot mandates continues and get the system. Not that late. I couldn't wait. Big, but
Yep.
you unbite do. Big. Playing them. Things out and but since the bit it. Some steps any sunny. Kelvin it. Maybe me so that not tough. Yeah, I came just to see you where. Then, folks. You did everything you had to do. Go and see the dinner. Yeah, the tea. He fits. Yeah. They can solve it, but out of listens and get it smart to call it worse.
Okay, thank you. We're waiting for our next
Some you back in. But
opportunity. Way back to your seat.
out of work, hand.
Next up, I'd love to introduce Sebastian Delgado, who will be presenting on his business, Doski Design and Manufacturing. Welcome, Sebastian.
I'm going to tell something like every great leap in space has always started with something tiny and with about details. Something simple as a screw, a nut, a rivet, a metal bracking, or even a component for a rocket propulsion system, right? But these are the things that the public doesn't know about or doesn't really care. But for big organizations like NASA, Blue Origin, they care about these components on the financial side. But for guys like these components depend on their lives. It's either if the mission is a success or it's vacant. And although there has been a lot of big players in the industry, like Blue Origin, SpaceX, and Virgin Galactic have made a lot of great strides in the industry, there's a lot that has to be done. Mainly because only 5% of the machine shops here in the United States are capable in developing U.S. aerospace certified manufacturing. And these are the companies that are a lot of high tolerances and leads a lot of supply chain bottlenecks throughout the nation. This means, to put it simply, the demand is there, but the shops are not capable to fulfill that. And to talk about a lot, since the 1970s, 90% of DoD contractors have shut down for mergers and acquisitions and because of workforce has retired. But I have presented everybody with a problem. Now I'm going to show the solution. We're going to establish a CNC machine shop with an aerospace application here in El Paso that focuses in advanced manufacturing, where we're going to offer in-house prototyping and engineering solutions for the aerospace industry. But to start off, what's a machine shop? Because nobody usually knows what it is. So in a machine shop, we have machines like these that make industrial parts like that for industrial applications. To break down the process of how this works, we first design the part, we buy the raw material, we put that raw material in the machine, we program it, automate it, and at the end, we have the end product, which is a part with the specific tolerances and mechanical products that the company needs. So currently, for our business model, we provide CNC machining, 3D consulting, 3D printing, and procurement for the maquilas over there. We're planning to expand into El Paso, where we're going to offer government contracting and reward, and also focus on our in-house buy-to-goods. For market validation, the aerospace parts manufacturing market in North America alone is valued at $398 billion, and that equates for 44% of the entire global. In North America, specifically the machining market, it's valued at $29 billion. And here in our local economy, we have organizations like those you see now speak that are currently working with small manufacturers to get those certifications and to produce these high tolerance parts. Currently, is on the right. On the left, sorry, you're going to have clients that we serve in Juarez. And on the right, those are the early adopters that we want. We're going to start in the commercial side, which are the easier entry barrier. And then we're going to continue on federal and second tier, third tier, sub-mod. In terms of the competitive landscape, in El Paso, there's only 61 machine shops and only 3 are certified to make sparks. In the US alone, there's around 70,000 machine shops, and in Texas, there's 1,312 shops. Since August of 2023, we have averaged a revenue of $6,000 to $12,000 per month, where we have reinvested all of that money back into machines and equipment that are then going to help us expand into USA with our 1 year and 3 month time. This is a simple plan. The first 2 quarters are going to be self-invested from the revenue that we generate, and we're going to buy $3,000 in precision tools. And the last 3 quarters are now, we're going to set aside $7,500 for a CNC machine that's going to be purchased here in El Paso and it's going to stay in the United States. Currently, this is a father and son operation. You have myself, which is founder. My dad was a simulationist, and collectively we have over 50 years in experience and machining on the industrial side in Juarez. And of course, how can you get team, which are the machines that are currently working right now and cranking cars as we speak. But judges, audience, today I'm not only asking for the precision tools that I'm going to be using at my shop pit. Today I'm asking for the opportunity to help me develop, make the parts and components that are going to reach from the stars right here alone.
Thank you, Sebastian.
All right. So Zen, thank you for that. I met with some of your competitors, and then maybe if you could tell us what your process going to be to get that, get the AS 9100 certification.
Of course. So there's actually 3 certifications that I need, and from the different organizations that I mentioned before, there are 3 here specifically in El Paso: the National Center for Defense Texas Manufacturing, the Assistance Center, are giving grants to small manufacturers and are giving the coaching on how to get these certifications.
So Sam, thank you so much for the presentation. Incredibly informative. Looks like you've done your homework in terms of the aerospace sector. But just wondering in general, have you also, based on what I see here, have you also considered the medical device sector as well? And have you done your goal there as well to know the supply chain, especially in the El Paso or Lex regions, Ibis and Cruces as well?
Yes, so we work with Medtronic, which is one of our biggest funding suppliers. We've worked with them for over 4 years now, and we've developed auto parts for them and components, and it ranges from the supply chain, the materials that they use, to the end product that goes, and the research that goes into a further cut.
You've targeted the right demographic, but my question is this. With your competition fear logo in El Paso, what's your unique value proposition to enter the market, differentiate yourself from that?
So my main competitive advantage is that we offer engineering solutions. Most machine shops just receive the technical drawing, they make the part and send it off. Us, we've been working with maquilas, we've developed prototypes for them, we've installed it in the maquilas, and that's our differentiator. So we are gonna work with these companies and develop the parts that they need and then give it to them.
Excuse me, kind of a... No, I was just going to say, looking around the rooms to see if one of our friends from Workforce work with here, because if you're looking for funding for the, is it AS
And 100.
9100, I believe that there's funding through Workforce Workflex for that certification. So let's talk afterwards about connecting you with them, so that we could help get you funding for that.
I'll allow for some extra time, but I do want to note, Laura, there's someone here. So we'll make sure to make that connection. And I think you had it.
So quick question, following up on David. You said, I believe, that 70% of machine shops have closed down in the U.S. So I don't remember the date. Your competitive advantage, how are you going to turn that around? I think you said tired, but there must be other reasons. If it's such a lucrative business, how are you going to turn around? What's your difference?
Yes, that's actually a really great question. So 90% of DoD manufacturing have shut down. To answer that question, most of them have retired, and the focus that I'm going to rely on is advanced manufacturing. So we're going to focus on technology, on CNC machining for the access, speed, and data allow to do a collaboration between these manufacturing processes to stand out. Because if you're in my opinion, you're only a CNC machine shop, you're definitely going to be that. But to get into this market, there's a lot more that goes into the materials and the specification that's needed for it.
And then in your go-to-market, are you thinking of trying to win these RFPs directly, or are you going to, sign up for one of these platforms that connects, that connects you with some of these
Artists. So the first step is to register with the organizations, have the contacts, and then once from the different CNC owners that I talked, the normal procedure is to get in contact with them, do a little bit of jobs. Once you're a little bit known, you grow up remembered, and then you start bidding on bigger projects that are market leading. So that's the strategy.
Obviously, this right now is a father-son business. How many consider a future workforce for this, and what exactly is the number in terms? What's your part of your plan, Lilnay?
1,000%. So one of the big things here in El Paso is that all of our talent goes away. Once we establish here, we want to hire specific engineers that are going to do what I'm doing, which is going to these manufacturing facilities, designing the parts, getting quotes for the clients, and making the parts themselves. So our plan is to hire, starting at least one engineer that's going to help us develop all this procedures to accomplish them.
And that's time. Thank you. Thank you for this. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and call a 5-minute break. A 5-minute break. A lot of people have come in the room, so I encourage you to go around and network, chat. You are more than welcome to come up and chat with some of the students as well. We'll come back at about
attended. Okay, next, I am thrilled to invite to the stage the team for Pay. Presenting on their grand idea, we have Esteban Porras, Amira Hassan, and Valeria Rubatalba. Let's welcome them to the stage.
No matter how great they try to give you a picture of the trouble, they always seem to hold back because of this. We've all been, including myself.
You think it?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not right for us to not be able to help a homeless individual due to the lack of digital resources that are available to them. Our goal is to change those stories. Now, what if giving can be safe, meaningful, and transformative? Today, nearly almost every person experiencing homelessness owns a cell phone. And it's not just a fact. It's an opportunity to reach those who have been left behind and pushed to the side. Our goal is to turn that reality into open action. Digital donations that can be used for essentials such as food, shelter, and hygiene. It's not just money. It's dignity being restored. My name is Esteban Porras.
My name is Valeria Rubatalba, and my name is Vera Hassan.
And we are on Sway.
OnSpend gives people access with ease technology. Just like how we want to reassure that our support is going and making a positive difference, we want to provide you a solution that gives you transparency and clarity, dignity, and that's what we're building for you today. As you can see on our screen, our first photo shows recipient profiles. We plan to have anyone who's experienced homelessness enroll in our application through partner organizations, and we will upload a profile, and then once the profile that any donor can send digital funds, knowing that all the funds they're sending to this person who are in the application anonymously will be secure and will be self-contained within the application. Including the application, we'll also be using reward programs, dashboards, visibility analysis, and spending analysis just to see exactly how the money is being used and transferred. And that's how I'm going to explain our app today.
With proven demand, trusted partnerships, and clear milestones, OnSpend is positioned to scale as a secure and transparent giving platform that donors and nonprofits have been waiting. With 63% of NFC adaptation in the United States and 20% of donors for transparent impact, we are visioning to partner with local shelters and community foundations in El Paso, reaching rather milestones of signing MOUs with local nonprofits and establishing our first primary donors using our platform, FreeOC.
The market opportunity is clear. Today, 94% of homeless individuals own a cell phone, which means the infrastructure to use OnSpend already exists. On the donor side, people want to help, but they often do not carry cash or worry where the money is going. We sell both programs, cashless giving and field transparency. Nonprofits as shelters are also looking for technologies that improve support and track progress. And right now, there's no simple dedicated app that connects the donor directly with the homeless individual in a safe and controlled way. That gap creates a major opportunity for OnSpend to live in space. Through on-site demonstrations and workshops, we want to show the homeless individuals how the app works and how can they benefit from it.
So OnSpend runs on partnership at origin. It will be sponsored by corporate sponsors, grants, and social impact alliance so that every dollar you give will go 100% to those in need. We protect your gift and we make sure it stays pure. Unlike other platforms, OnSpend combines both direct control giving, addiction-free funds, impact dashboard, and milestone tracking, all at in one solution, giving donors direct visibility into their impact. Because we're not just building an application. We are trying to redefine how society. So behind OnSpend, there is a team committed to change, and we're combining skill and passion to make generosity move. Because OnSpend isn't just about giving, it's about transforming. And by combining compassion with technology, we make every donation safe, transparent, and impactful, giving donors real visibility. Not only that, but also we want you guys to help us restore dignity, make giving transformative, and creating real change, one tap at a time.
Thank you.
Judges, the floor is yours.
Did.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation and for trying to solve what is a very critical problem. Question about, you said digital donations are used for essential services. I don't see you connecting to any essential services unless you're considering shelters. What about grocery stores or places where people can buy food, or said that's for food, and so maybe I missed that. Can you talk to me about how these services are going to be delivered?
So as you can see on our solution slide, there's an image there that for our essential services, we're talking about food, hygiene items, water, clothing, shelter credits, and transportation as well. When we say we only want to let our application be used for those categories, and we want them to be strictly restricted to those, so just so we can help people get rehabilitated, give them access to mental health resources, give them what they need to get back.
Who's providing those services? Who are you connecting to provide the services? Is it just the shelters?
No, we're also connecting with supermarkets, and even retail stores for them to have a place to go and access those items that they need.
A couple of questions there. Wondering, how do you make this not transferred? I mean, I know some of your competitors do something, similar things, but and it happens with Snap cards and everything, that people just transfer them to other people. How do you avoid that the misuse?
It's Emma.
Okay, so how do we prevent it from being transferable or misused? We don't do peer-to-peer transactions. The cash doesn't go on the application at all. And once the donation is already set up, similar to how you were talking about SNAP benefits, EBT cards, once the funds are into the application, they just stay there. Similar to how a gift card is, you can't really refund it or transfer it out. It can only be used in three essential categories within the application.
And then my quick follow-up there's, what is the business model? Is that something, are you thinking of this as a nonprofit, or are you thinking of this as a for-profit?
So right now it's a nonprofit, so we can be able to give content from banks, so government and conduct events, and hopefully we can for some partnerships with corporate social responsibility organizations that have the same goal, and it can help us teach.
One question regarding technology here. You make a strong emphasis on NFC, but I would also encourage you to think about how we can donate to individuals, people who are not so close to them. Oftentimes we're driving on the street, they're on the corner, NFC won't work there. My main question is, what technology platform are you actually building this on right now, either for prototyping or moving towards application development?
As of right now, we're still in research and design phase. So for prototyping or demo responding or present to that, they should be using Figma to show the UI applications. But we're also going to use Firebase and Stride for security and any sort of tools that already use restricted spending. But as far as application development goes, we've had to use a reason to help us also get software that already is the technology, as I said already, it's like out there today. We just want to reshape them to doing better than already did.
Thank you. And thank you for thinking about our social impact idea. Can you walk me through how you will market this to the homeless, and how will they access this? How will they be able to access the fundings?
Okay, so that's where our partners come in, and to our partners like food bank shelters or other non-profit organizations who want to use the people that they already have, and we can work with them together that way with general. And to market the donors, we have two segments, like we said. We have the people that want to donate but don't have the cash, and we have the people that worry about where the cash is going. So for the first segment, we want to give them accessibility, and for the people who don't trust where the money is going, we want to give them transparency. So through testimonials, through our partners, or partnerships are the one that will give you that validation.
One. You also mentioned MOUs with nonprofits. Have you tested that?
No, not yet, but that's our action that we're looking.
And that it's time. Thank you. Great job to the team. We'll pause for a few minutes to give judges time to wrap up their notes.
Look, please. Go.
What we it's nice.
Make.
And say,
One those two.
And then go out to the street.
Oh, they pitching noise. They like for I did it. Version.
But you know. Yeah, it's just we'll let on. Yeah, sure. Jim Saudi knows. So they ran me good. It's in the chase my things. So what? Dog. That's where I get the bill. It's actual New York. I'm not that thankful for you. But
You come.
it's to one.
So free her
So it's what
should be this.
like that. Very easy. Get on there. What are you listening to? Right?
You're a good thing.
You I the I did it. I could do it. But it they're at every game. Sweet personality is based on so me.
Get it.
Yeah.
You said.
Do you I mean most the economy
Do the pictures. Yeah, it'd be with you. I'm gonna use this thing. With
go. Okay. That's it.
And she's here, but and we're ready. We are ready. Welcome back, everyone. We have the team presenting on Wealthy Next, led by Adrian Castro.
Wait, hey.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Adrian. I'm Edgar. And we're finance students here at UTEP. We grew up between Ciudad Juarez and El Paso, following the script everyone knows. Work hard, study hard, get good grades, and you'll be fine. But what happened is when we received that first paycheck, no one told us how to move that money towards food, towards gas, helping family, and still enjoy being a student. We built Wealthy to be the game that we never got. Now, there's no plan, but there's this question. If I buy this today, will I have enough money to cover it until the next paycheck? Currently, 71% of U.S. undergraduates, they live in financial stress. We here live in financial stress. 51% of UTEPs are first generation. What does it mean? Well, probably figuring out college, understanding a new monetary system, and sometimes adapting to a new country. Nationally, half the paycheck is spent within the first 48 hours after payday. So the challenge is, there is financial stress, but how do we translate that into a great actual plan? Our answer, Wealthy. A paycheck-based planning app. We allocate your non-negotiables, your life happens cushion, and we finally put money towards your own personal goals. Because we need you wherever you are currently in life. And we adapt as you go.
Now, our market is bigger than just this campus. We're starting with working, often first-generation students who have little to no personalized guidance. Now, long-term, there are tens of millions of young earners who face the same reality. We aren't trying to reach them all at once. We start winning at campuses like UTEP and then scaling to similar universities. Our time is composed of these earners ages 18 to 44, own a smartphone and are banked. Our SAB is then reduced by the amount looking for financial guidance. Lastly, our sum is these target universities which we plan on focusing within the next 3 to 5 years. How do we do it? On payday, users go into the app. They input their paycheck, expenses, and a couple of goals that they have in mind. Within 30 seconds, Wealthy translates this into a 3-step plan. That's it. No spreadsheet, no finance background, just clear next steps. Our business model is simple and sustainable. We offer a free version as well as a premium version at $4.99 a month. Now, our free version covers those basics: retirement accounts, budgeting, expense planning. Our premium version is where we really make a difference. Through customized, tailored solutions, we offer advanced investment strategies, tax optimization, portfolio analysis, and many other features. Now, we chose $4.99 because it's what students told us feels affordable. With our fixed cost being our AI, our servers, our support, we found that we're still able to have a healthy enough margin where we can reinvest back into our fund. Within the next 2 to 3 years, we plan on getting a $10 referral revenue by connecting active users with things like high-yield savings accounts, investment platforms, as well as other products.
This is what Wealthy makes different from our biggest carriers. We're built for every career student address and students need, and we build emergency plans every single check. Wealthy is the application that will help you to allocate your money without losing track of your financial goals. Thanks to our data, we noticed that the vast majority of students, they want to decide. And we're developing our minimum viable product here on campus. For this guidance from Roberto Blanco, a certified wealth strategist. Today, we're asking for $3,000 in order to complete our MVP, protect ourselves legally, and market. We are free financing for students, and yes, we help live with this problem.
Our goal is simple: put Wealthy into the hands of students so that a paycheck is not stress, it is a plan.
Because we know that you deserve much more than just hope for the best.
Because life is more than just a number.
Live with direction. Live wealthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Wealthy. Judges, you have the floor.
Just a couple of things, Alex. I do like the vision of teaching financial literacy, especially to the younger demographic, is very important. But going along that thread, targeting students for, asking them for money is often a very poor market because they have very limited disposable that they're able to spend, especially if it's not on the way to increase the amount of money they have. Another note I would say is, you mentioned AI and server being fixed costs. Those are not fixed costs. Those are the revenue and scaling costs that we for us born users utilize your platform. What are your plans to address that?
Thank you for the question. So to start with the first part, we are aware of the financial constraints for students in colleges, right? And so we found a price that for them feels affordable. However, that's the reason that we do offer a Q version, so that they can test it out, seek out how it can help them. And once we're able to help their financial situation, that's when we offer our premium version. That's where it comes in. That's where we help them look at that next step. They go from budgeting to investing.
Now, touching on the AI, there are some fixed costs. I guess it's just for our MVP. First, our MVP will use ChatGPT 4.0 mini to have a language speak to a user. Now, to get this data, we use Perplexity, which also charges a fee to start using it as Pepe.
Yeah. To add to that, our fixed costs for AI, we are aware are rapidly increasing. This is based on the amount of users that we're offering. And so our margins are based on whether our user platform grows. And as we have more users, we know these costs will rise. And that's why we set out margin that we know that we can have to reallocate it to our product.
Have you thought about what is your go-to-market? Are you thinking of winning against all the other budgeting apps and thousands that are out there?
Good question. So first, we want to start with college students, like us. We want to test it. We want to see how it feels. But that is not our limit. We'll move on to schools to help high school students prepare so when they finally get that paycheck. We want to help nurses. We want to help in the health sector. We want to help in the manufacturing side, because we know that there's not much time. And the way we'll approach these people is with our user experience. We'll connect with them. we're way more than just an app. We're an experience. We built upon your life, and we still keep growing.
So your target demographic of students right now, okay, so there's around like 25,000 students at UTEP alone as of this year. Now, what number specifically can you guys mention to me is prominent, especially you guys are targeting UTEP students, and if it's a certain number that you need, at what point would you guys say, okay, then we go outside of this?
So actually, we built this model based on what we think we can get based on UTEP numbers for students. And so 50 is our worst case. 300, we're looking at a very optimistic case. And so here we are using that 499 model, right? And then our fixed costs, as I mentioned, depend on the amount of users, right? So this leaves us with enough margins so that we can keep developing our app, keep marketing, keep expanding to different customer bases, different universities.
Thank you, judges. And thank you, Team Wealthy. Give our judges a few minutes.
Yes. Yes. Okay, bueno. Y setting you up on it. Yeah, good. Better.
Okay, we are ready for our last pitch for Group 1. Please help me welcome Christian Andris, presenting on his business, his business, CA Natural.
Good morning, everyone. Let's do this quick. I know you want to eat. Quick question. How many of you have dealt with hair loss, dandruff, or itching? Couple, right? The truth is, 60% of the global population is dealing with hair loss. We're talking about 4 billion of people. And dandruff, half of the population. I was one of them. I tried a lot of products and I didn't find any real solution. And the products that were helping me, they were causing me other problems because they have harsh chemicals. That's why I decided to create a natural, a handmade natural formula that helps those common problems in a healthier way. As our unique value, we focus on health and beauty of our customers. That's why we work with plant extracts like aloe vera, rosemary, and mint. Are scientifically proved that they help to reduce the hair loss, stimulate the growing of your hair, and also hydrate your scalp. That means goodbye itching. Right now, we're focusing on the organic hair care market that is value of $12.5 billion. By 2030, it's going to grow to $20.5 billion. Here in the United States, it's of $2.5 billion. We want to grow in this market. But right now, we're focusing in El Paso and Juarez. That's why our short-term goal is from 40 to 60K per year. We're talking about 2,000 units per sales per year. We capture value by social media, and also we have a partnership with Ciudad Juarez in Plaza Gabon in a name local Tecote. Our product costs $14, and the production cost is about $5.06. That means that our profit per bottle is of $8.94. That gives us a healthy profit margin of 63.9%. This business started 5 months ago, and we have made over more than 110 sales. That means our monthly average is about 10 to 20 units per month. we made a product with 100% natural product. Think that no harsh chemicals, no parabens, no silicons, and we always are listening the feedback of our clients. We make constant improvement. Our competitors may not have this future, and they use silicons, parabens that can cause you consequences, and they don't improve their products. Our three-year plan. The first year we're going to focus here in Juarez and El Paso. We're going by local events like this speech competition, and also we're going to do more partnerships. By 2026, we're going to regional to Texas and Chihuahua, and by 2027, our goal is Mexico and United States. We're going to earn certifications, enter into the online sales, and also building a subscription model to our frequent clients. I'm not only stopping with just one product. Right now, we are launching natural hand-based soaps, solid shampoos, and a stimulated elixir for new hair growth. This $3,000 price can help me with 3 important things. 45% is going to go to a professional website, 35% is going to go to our marketing, and the 20% is going to go to our production. I'm Christian Ablis, I'm the founder of CA Natural. Last thing, I want to share some testimonials of our clients, how they like our product, and how they have the same transformation that I have. If you want to take care healthy, I please invite you to scan the QR code. Also, if you're interested in buying one of our products, you can talk to me at the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Judges, you have the floor.
Right. Good question. Can you tell us what the shelf life is for this shampoo?
Did you satisfy it?
Sure. Does it go bad after 4 or 5 months? Because I guess like as you're thinking of scaling, you know, that probably also why a lot of these, for mass production, a lot of these others. That's why they use some of these artificial, ingredients. It's because of.
Thank you so much for your question. Yeah, sure. Our products use vitamin E, and that helps us to the product. It can be 6 months of duration.
So my question is about scaling. How are you making this now? Where is it being made now?
Right now, this is something that me and my mom are doing. This is a family thing. So we are doing in my house. We do all I design. She helped me to do the ingredients, how we do it, how we macerate. So this is about 2 of us. And yeah, we want to grow. And right now, the numbers I show you, this is something like how we are going. So it's like a startup.
So, given you and your mom, do you have the capacity to scale to 2,000 bottles, which you need to break even? And how are you going to scale beyond that?
Yeah, we are thinking, like I showed you with the $3,000 price, we can have someone that can help us to do that scale. I know that right now we are 2, but we are thinking also to get more people that can help us.
So right now, I think you said your product costs $506. Once you start going into retail, have you thought about costs for getting your product into retail, which are beyond marketing? It's shelf placement, fees, all of that. How's that going to impact your margins?
Thank you again for the question. Yeah, we think about that. These prices can change. Right now, to me, this is the price. But yeah, we're going to change the numbers when we scale to retail, and we're going to make improvement on the formula. We always make an improvement, and when making improvement, the cost production is going to get high.
Do you have a patent on the product? On the formula?
But
Is that needed?
yeah, we have a caution site. If you are allergic to any of these plant extracts, you need to see first with a doctor. That was your question?
Doing out.
Multi.
Yeah, so my main question is this. I do think that your product could be vetted at the alternate solutions on the market. Why aren't they doing what you're doing?
A simple question, simple answer. That's your question, David.
as a direct answer is are focused a lot of doing more sales, and they are giving you they're seeing like the cheapest things that they can sell you to do it a higher one. So like I'm focusing more on the health of my customers. So that's why I can use chemicals to get more duration or do other results, but that's not my focus. My focus is to help my customers to not have consequences or have irritations, and so take care of it.
What's preventing your competitors to see what you're doing if you don't have an intellectual property protections to see what you're doing? They already have the distribution, they already have the output, and then they can outpace you. Do you have a plan for that?
Yeah, we noticed, like I said, like I'm saying, I'm starting on this. I'm seeing how is this going. I know that we have great sales right now, but I'm taking at a slow pace because we want to think smarter. We want to not to take the risk and fail.
So can you tell me how you developed your formula?
Yeah, sure. Like I was telling you, this formula is from my family's past of the time. The part of my mother, she's grandma, take care with natural products, and also they teach me this. I also do my research, why these plants help to these problems I teach you. So yeah.
And that's time. Thank you so much, Christian. So that rounds out our final presenter for Group 1. What do you all think so far? Let's give them a round of applause. All right, let's keep that energy up so we can support our students in round 2. First up, here to present on for technology, technology, I'd like to invite Denise Nunez out to the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Denise Nunez, and I'll be pitching for Synology LLC. Synology is dedicated to empowering individuals with disability to obtain, maintain, and sustain employment. Quick show of hands, who here and struggle to find employment at any point of their lives? Right? So I'm a person without a disability, however, even I struggle. So you can only imagine that a person with disability struggles twice as much. If we look at El Paso has over 30,000 individuals with disabilities in the workforce. However, 3,000 of those are still unemployed. If we compare that to Jeff Davis is more inclusive in eliminating those barriers. So how do we help? We provide vocational rehabilitation services. This means that we assess our clients and we assess them by providing, oh gosh, I was been doing probably the food. I don't stop it. We analyze their skills, their employment goals, their abilities, and we match them to jobs that fit those abilities. We provide resume building, job searching, and once we find a job for them, we're able to provide on-the-job coaching. We also provide enhanced workplace readiness. This means that we train them on interpersonal communication, personal skills at work, work attitude, work ethic, attitude, start me. So that means that they're ready to sustain and maintain their employment once they receive that.
Right.
Synology started from when I was born. My older sister is deaf. So that means in the deaf culture, I'm a sibling of a deaf adult. That means that throughout my whole life, I've witnessed firsthand the stereotypes, stigma, and discrimination that they face on an everyday basis. That created Synology. With that,
I've realized that today I need help. I can no longer manage technology as a one person and two subcontractor team. Technology seeks $3,000 in grant funding to be able to onboard these part-time employment service specialists and the part-time nurse to help me with the following. Over the time, we have helped all of these individuals, ranging from high school students all the way to 65 years old individuals who need to be services. As of October, we started providing diabetes educational classes, and we've received 4 referrals so far. That's just within 2 months. If you look at the successful closures, this means that they've reached their 90 days in a job, meaning that most likely, statistically speaking, they will be able to maintain that job for years to come. I have always placed at least half of my referrals into job placement. We are certified and endorsed to provide these services according to the state of Texas. With the grant funding and onboarding the 2 part-timers, I would expect that our referrals would double. Right now, I can successfully manage about 15 individuals, meaning that with the part-time employment specialist, we would double our referrals and provide that vocational opportunities to others. And with the part-time nurse, you would be able to handle the incoming diabetes referral. Your investment will directly empower people with disabilities to achieve their independence and contribute their talents. With your help, we can impact one life, one career at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Judges, the floor is yours.
I've missed. I'm a little unclear on the business model that you have set. Are you a for-profit, non-profit, and also that it would be individual as far as the business that's hiring?
Yes. So we are for-profit. Our funding comes from Texas Workforce. Our contract is with them. So the referrals, Texas Workforce pays for them. And then this is a free service to those that come to us for services. So it is a complete free service to our individuals as we get our funding from Texas Workforce.
Okay, can you tell us, what that contract looks like? Do they pay you like a portion of the first month's salary or something like that, or is it a fixed price?
It is a fixed price. They pay me according to benchmarks, benchmark A, B, and C. Benchmark C would be the bigger profit, that meaning that they reach the 90 days, so we are able to close them. That's the bigger profit, and then everybody's happy. Counselors close their cases, I get my referral, a person gets a job, we're all happy.
Does Workforce provide the salaries for the jobs, or are these being placed into businesses that are then paying the individuals, right?
They go into businesses that the business pays them, right? So if I've been able to place at Walmart, Cinemark, Hospitals of Providence, EPISD, right? So those are all businesses that have hired from my caseload. Are your cases predominantly for students, or is it for all individuals? All individuals with a disability. So our high school portion, we help them get that experience before they graduate, so they have something to fall on, and it does go up until they want to, especially.
Then how do you find them, or how do they find you?
Yeah, so on like QR code, it will lead you to my website. There is a little tab that says Start My VR, right? So that's a vocational rehabilitation process. Once you fill out that form, it connects you with the counselor. Well, with the counselor, the counselor themselves can say, hey, these are the list of people I've worked with, or that person can say, I want technology to help me.
Right. I guess maybe to deepen the question, like, do you do marketing, or how is it that they hear about you, or how do you connect to find these?
There is one vocational counselor that is deaf himself that I've known throughout the years.
He's helped me out a lot, as well as word of mouth, right? So if we look back,
Yeah.
usually the 11 trained individuals then go on to become the 21 placements. However, the remaining 10 are word of mouth. I'll get a call like, hey, I've heard that you help so-and-so. Can you help me? And I'll go ahead and say, do you have an open case with Texas Workforce? If not, I can help you. Or if you do, we can make that change to my team.
But exactly is your representative advantage of why people with disabilities should go with you instead of someone else or directly with for someone's first test.
Good question. So I am an employment service provider, right? There's many others. However, what differentiates us is my ability in American Sign Language, since I am culturally competent in that, and I do have a bachelor's in that. I'm certified to provide that service as well. That lessens the cost to bring on another interpreter, right, or a third party.
Thank you, judges. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We will give the judges a few minutes to wrap up their news.
Excellent.
Okay, we are ready for our next competitor. Please help me welcome Naomi Romero, presented on NG Lakebot. Thank you. Good morning, officer. Good morning. You know what this is for? This kidney braces and it lasts plus irritation. But the kidney actually doesn't work. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, and you can get a lot of your problems. I know all about this because I used it to use 2 years ago when I partially tear my ligament. But for so many of you have been injured playing the sport that you love. Yeah, that happened to me. I love football and it killed my knee. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to present to you NG Lakebot, the innovation that will guide the steps of your life. Over the past year, I have conducted research over more than 100 individuals. The results are significant. 32% of men and 58% of women show early signs of developing kidney problems. A single reconstruction surgery can cost between $40,000 to $70,500 to really miss that shit. I want you to use ACA, you have 20 chances of doing again, so I don't think you want to face this amount twice, even once. But let me tell you more about my story. 2 years ago, I partially tear my ligament. The surgery reconstructed, but it left long-term challenges. Some of them instability in the knee, higher developing cartilage and meniscus damage, chronic pain and inflammation. After 2 years of the surgery, I continued feeling pain in my knee. This experience made me ask one question. Why isn't there a better recovery option? Well, here's where NG Lakebot born. NG Lakebot is an intelligent kidney brace designed to assist posterior orientation, prevent re-injury, and provide support for athletes and patients. The key components is 3D with adaptive neoprene fabric, silicone patent stabilizer, dual titanium lateral support, 24B DC micromotor, and EMG muscular sensor. And also proud to mention that this 3D prototype has been made by me and my co-partner Ivan Gonzalez, prospector in aerospace engineering. Also, this painting has been by me, is how your leg looks without skin. The other one is how the prototype will look with the real materials. Our target customers are post-surgery ligament patients, individuals with ligament injuries, PT clinics, sport performers, and athletes. Our cost of production will be up to $288 per unit, and we're going to sell it in $720. These represent less than the 10% of what the surgery will cost, giving a more accessible option for the ones that can afford a surgery. And actually, if you have a partial ligament injury and you can't afford surgery, this is a good solution where you can solve your problem. But what is our competitive advantages? Well, we have an EMG muscular sensor that haven't been found in other kidney braces.
It's made with neoprene fabric and silicone patella stabilizer, giving more support and comfort for the patient. It can be used before, during, and after an injury, and it's made by someone with an injury experience, ensuring ergonomic and economic use. Okay, then we have the suppliers. We take like these supplies for their quality and reliability. We have already covered some of them, and by that we got into the price that the cost of selling price will be of $720. The 40% will get in materials, the 10% will get in marketing, 10% in marketing, 5% will get reimbursed in our company, etc. Our vision is to develop an intelligent kidney brace that is available to everyone, not just the one that can afford it. Our mission is to lead innovation of biomedical support and enhance new solutions available to everyone, not just the ones that can afford them. We are seeking for an invest of $3,000 to make the first functional prototype. This will help us to begin with the mechanical and medical testing. Also, we start with the initial legal regulatory setups. We need permissions from the government and healthcare centers. So also, these are some support extra that I get from doctors and engineers. This idea had me taking more from a year of investigation, and the final drafts have been approved from more than 5 doctors in Chihuahua. So this is a viable price. But the first thing that we need is inversion to start making the first functional prototype. My name is Naomi Gallo, founder of NG Legpod. This project will go with my pain, with my faith, with my injury and uncertainty. But instead of that being there, I decided to make a new path, one in which others can walk. I have a last question to all of you. You're ready to make the next step in innovation? Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. Judges, you have the floor.
I actually tore my ACL. I had a complete knee reconstruction, so I have about 100 questions, but I'll stick to about 2. And congratulations on your recovery. But how did you validate the $720 device sale, and was it driven by customer interviews, competitor benchmarking, or cost plus?
Well, I interview more than 100 persons. I also, like you can see in the photographies, I go to surgery and talk with doctors. That is where I take my cost advantage. I also talk with a physiotherapist, and he told me how many costs the prototype devices that already exist. So I decided to make a new one, more innovative. It's a little bit higher in the price because it have an EMG muscular sensor that, as I already tell you, it have been found in our kidney braces. But that's where I take all the information.
Yes. Would you think this is a device that should be covered by insurance?
Yeah, it's development for helping before, during, and after an injury, and as a plus, it helps to athletes to prevent an injury, because after an injury, they come several problems. As the one that I tell you, you must have pain in your knee before the surgery, before the surgery. And yeah, to try to make a better way of developing your knee without making injuries of it.
And you're in recovery and you're going through therapy. I mean, there's also a therapist that would need to approve this, because you don't want to completely rely on the device when you're trying to develop strength. So that's something that I would recommend, is also therapist recommendation. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I'm not sure I fully understand the product and the product differentiation. Could you explain it and maybe come the modules? By the way, good job. Steph and those were so low. But yeah, maybe you can explain it, the difference in the layers, or where exactly you put the sensors and technology out there, and the differentiation.
Yeah, the MG sensor is colocated right here in the quadricep, because the quadricep is the most cool that both your knee. Then we have the 12 titanium lateral supports painted here, so they can support the ligaments that are around here. Then we have the silicone patella stabilizer that will be here, that will get support to the patella. The neoprene fabric is this material. This material is adaptable to your size of your knee, so it will be adaptable into your size. Also, what was the other question?
I forget, but could you explain what is the MD sensor?
MG sensor is a sensor that is it's the size of a paper. That sensor. I take this sensor from engineers for investigation with engineers. They tell me that it's the smallest sensor that I can use, because actually we don't want that the kidney use a lot of space. So the MG sensor is like a sensor that is like so small. And it's located in the quadricep, where it's the most.
So what is it sensing? And where is the data delivered? And what is the data used for?
Where is the delivery? Or what was the question?
It's sensing, and it's sensing what? A movement of the muscle? What is it sensing?
When you're going to make a movement forward and back, you use this muscle, the quadricep. So it's located in the quadricep. When you are going to make a little movement, the quadricep shows a little bit of energy. And we have tried with that with physiotherapists. We have shown it. So he's located because he is the quadricep.
So how does the PT or the physician or the individual monitor the data? Where is the data going?
To the micro motor that will be positioned right here, right here. So when he detects the energy, they will send a direction to the micromotor, and the micromotor will help you to move the lateral supports with more comfort.
So it's not for tracking movement, it's for
motor.
For motor, for helping. For motor.
Okay, thank you. Let's take.
Yeah.
So officially, this is a medical device instrument.
Yeah.
You're proposing. Okay. Have you considered certifications, especially with clinics and hospitals, buying a certain medical device? I mean, you can go with it without a certification, but I assure you, not a lot of hospitals will take you seriously if you don't propose a certification process. So I guess, have you considered that in your initial investment too?
Yeah, we have in the initial regulatory steps, the permissions that we need to have from the government and from clinic centers, and we are going to manufacture and we are going to sell them to them. So the ones that are going to sell them are doctors. Well, yeah, the permissions and all the stuff that we need is in the initial layer of regulatory steps. And that's time. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You need to talk more with Nancy. Like at the morning.
We'll give our judges a few minutes to complete their notes.
Feedback. Release. Feedback. Here's the pen.
You're still writing now?
But that let's be mine.
Okay, we are ready for our next competitor. Please help me welcome Carlos Gaitzu, presenting on his technology, SenseQ.
Imagine you wake up tomorrow and you're unable to read a single message on your phone. For over 43 million people globally who are blind, and 295 million people who are visually impaired. This is daily reality. Technology has advanced for most of us, but accessibility tools haven't kept pace. Braille displays are often bulky and cost over 1,000, while screen readers lack privacy and tactile connection. Introducing the Sense Cube, a compact, tactile communication device that brings Braille into the digital age. By using 6 microsolenoids, the Cube dynamically forms Braille characters, letting users view text messages or notifications instantly. It connects wirelessly through an app. Any text from a message to a presentation is translated into tactile Braille in real time. The result? Portable, private, and immediate. Globally, 43 million people were blind, and 295 million people are visually impaired. The assisted tech market is worth over $8 billion, growing at 6% annually. Or focus, the affordable Braille tech gap. Existing Braille displays are often large and expensive. The Sense Cube is small, portable, and affordable, designed to complement existing assistive tools rather than replace them. This is more than a device. It's independence. For students, it means access to education. For adults, it means privacy and communication. And for society, it means inclusion through innovation. Right now, we have a working prototype design and are building the app development as well. The next step is trying to meet with people who are visually impaired in order to test our product and refine the product as well. We are seeking initial funding from this competition to further advance the prototype and the testing. But beyond cash prizes, I'm looking to connect with investors who share the same vision: accessible technology. Our goal is simple: to make information touchable for everyone. Accessibility should not be a luxury. It should be a right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Judges, the floor is yours.
Thank you. A ton of questions, but very super interesting. Could you tell us, are you thinking of getting a patent for something like that?
Yes, I'm actually working with someone from NSU that is guiding me through all the process behind the patent, but that is what I'm working on right now.
Well, would this be considered, an accessory, or are you thinking of this as a medical device? Like in terms of the selling, are you thinking this is an insurance covered thing or something and you just sell commercially?
It can fit into both of them, but I'm thinking more into the accessible technology-wise, like Braille.
So, yeah, was it just make an accessory? You don't need to go through FDA and then get linked up.
Yeah.
I think this is an incredible concept. It's very, very interesting. Once you have the size factor scaled a little bit down, be very useful for folks. Now, you do mention a lot of integration into a software right now. I would highly recommend that you look into wearables as well. Such as the Snapchat, the hapticals, or even Magic Glass 3 version 2, as it will be able to provide a lot of that visual context for your device. And they're looking for partners and developers. It's a good time to do that.
Thank you. Any other question?
Yeah, I also think this is a fascinating concept. But can you tell me exactly, I get you make the interface between a digital device and the queue, but then does the queue letters go up and down? They go up and down?
Yes.
Absolutely. How does that actually work?
Yes, so it has some, it's right here, right? We call it solenoid words. So they basically go up, they go down. And someone who is visually impaired will essentially put their hand on top of the cube and they'll be able to read Braille. Yeah. And then that information, we're trying to make it easy and accessible. So we're using an app, or we're developing an app in order so that someone can send either books, presentation, slides, and it will automatically be sent into the queue by either Bluetooth, or you can also use a cable subtree onto the user.
So it has to link with the app, not with like a regular text message or a WhatsApp or something. It would be communication on your app transferred to the tube.
That's right.
Then I guess the other question, so this is output. Are you thinking of this also as input? Like to be able, because one thing is reading, but then also on writing.
It'll be perfectly for like our second site, but right now for the main prototype, it will only be talked to. But that's an excellent idea for the next prototype.
Have you done it? Have you done any customer discovery of talked to blind about this product?
This is barely a early stage yet, and that's actually our breakdance then. I'm talking to someone who is blind right now, and he's gonna be testing the device. But yeah.
What's your competition? Is I know you mentioned the traditional aspects of the big 40 ones, but I have to imagine that there's also some there's obviously there's focused on exploitable electronic devices for visually impaired folks as well.
So, I said in terms of competition that we have, usually the devices that they provide, they're expensive. They're like really bulky, so they're not really portable at all. Like, perhaps the competition that we have is those machines that you put into paper and then they transcribe Braille into paper, and then the user will have to take a piece of paper with them, then read. But essentially, there's no competition for affordable and accessible and affordable device right now.
So why are you trying to solve this problem at this time? Why you?
Well,
okay, let me ask it this way. Why does this problem interest you so much?
the reason why it interests me so much because I myself have a sibling who has special needs. So I firsthand know the problem that is to get products with accessibility, right?
So that is time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think no.
No.
But it is
May.
these and also ones. There we go. Not. It does. Can find. I don't dare see that. Then when you talk to. That's it. Let me spill it. He's almost us. Some people don't like it. You ain't going to make that. Read. That. I don't know.
Did not. Okay, and for our last competitors of the afternoon, presenting on their product sales, we have Ray Sanchez and his team.
Good afternoon. I'm Andres Chavira, and this is Ray Sanchez, and we're Seraphim Predictive Systems. But we're tackling real-world water challenges starting at El Paso and beyond through AI. And in just a few months, Seraphim went from an AI hackathon winner to an application capable of saving millions of gallons of water and dollars for cities annually. And today we'll show you why the future of water is predicted, prescriptive, and protected.
Across Texas, cities like Houston, Dallas, and El Paso lose tens of billions of gallons, not just from the lakes, but from overproduction. 88 billion gallons without cost natural law. This is money, energy, and effort lost. But El Paso is changing this cycle, and with new technologies, the future of savings grow.
Now, Seraphim provides utilities foresight at every level of their network. Our AI ensemble doesn't just stop at the city level, it drills all the way down to the household level with an average MAPE of 2.94%. That precision lets utilities see tomorrow's demand today. It means right-sized production, lower energy costs, and fewer pump cycles. We've also built a new development simulator that projects how upcoming subdivisions will affect future demand and allowing utilities to plan for infrastructure before even breaking ground. And through our built-in AI analyst, Sarah, utilities can explore insights from both historical and forecasted data. Sarah identifies campaign strategies, recommends consumption patterns, and pinpoints exactly when and where conservation campaigns will have the biggest impact. Now, we start off by pulling operational consumption data, SCADA, AMI, weather, billing, through secure APIs into one engine. Seraphim then forecasts demand, optimizes production schedules, and sends clear recommendations directly to the utilities dashboard. No automation risk, just intelligence layer onto the systems that they already trust. And prediction is only half the story. Seraphim also asks, our pump scheduling optimization engine can cut energy costs by 25% as validated by comparable Xylem View deployments. Our dynamic pricing engine can reduce peak demand by 15%. And Sarah, our AI analyst, narrates what's happening, explains daily variances, and suggests which operational changes can have the biggest savings. Our upcoming flood simulation digital twin will help utilities plan to protect infrastructure before those disastrous events happen. These tools together turn forecasts into actionable intelligence, helping utilities anticipate, optimize, and protect.
This isn't just a local problem. Ultimately, the market for water optimization is over 90 billion and still growing. Our focus is drought-prone cities, hundreds of utilities with urgent needs and budgets ready to spend for real results. As we prove our impact, we aim to go from regional to national reach.
Now, when you look at the competitive landscape, the gap is clear. Autodesk unifies models like networks, but doesn't forecast demand. Xylem View is strong in infrastructure monitoring, but not in rate and energy optimization. Idrica handles analytics, but lacks severely in prescriptive insight. Seraphim is the only lightweight SaaS platform that combines validated forecasting accuracy, dynamic pricing, development simulation, asset recommendations, and deploy-ready APIs for any utility size. Now let's talk a little bit about the numbers. In El Paso alone, cutting just 1.4 billion gallons of overproduction can save around $2 million. Add up energy savings, about 14 million kilowatt hours, that's another 1.4 million. Deferred capital expansion and maintenance savings can rack up to $10 to $20 million annually. That's a 5 to 10x ROI for every dollar invested in Seraphim, making it a huge game changer for tight annual water budgets. This summer, we had the privilege of presenting our concept directly to El Paso Water, and their leadership validated it as a missing piece in their forecasting optimization strategy. Here's our path forward. In 2025 is to begin the pilot data integration phase and gearing up for full deployment in 2026 to release our dynamic pricing module and onboard 2 drought-prone cities, as well as release our flood simulation prototype. By 2027, reach 10 customers and 50 by 2028. So our mission is simple. It's to help every city within reach to save money, taxpayer funds, water, energy, chemicals, quickly and reliably. Seraphim is all about taking in the data that the municipalities already have into actionable insight. We're forecasting the future of water. Thank you.
Thank you. Judges, you have the floor.
Incredibly impressive AI tool that you guys created, which I have a variety of questions, so I'll be brief. How are you guys determining what exactly is recommended by your AI tool versus residential and industrial? I mean, obviously industrial requires more water, some more than others, some less than others. But then comparing that with residential as well, increasing in El Paso with growing demand of people coming to El Paso and Dedo. How is your AI tool using that algorithm to determine is that residential this, industrial this?
Yeah, so the data sets are split between commercial and residential, so that way the performance is upbeat, so it's not too much noise for the models, so they can stay accurate. As far as like the new development simulation, it looks for comparable, similar features like 2-bed, 1-bath houses or a car wash in the exact area. So we already have historical data on that. So we basically take that data, we form it to how the new development is going to look like. And from there, it creates a brand new model and makes a prediction on what that area is going to look like in future demand.
Thank you for this presentation, Meg. And how will you begin compliance with the El Paso Water and Texas Commission of Environmental Quality?
So we've spoke with El Paso Water on this, and we aren't held to the same standard that they are because we're not directly like a municipality. We're just a third-party software that they will be using. But there are some compliance issues that we do need to hold, especially concerning data. Right? So, well, one of the concerns that we initially thought of was, feeding, using the ChatGPT API and then just putting in, that's a bad idea, obviously, right? So what we did was we just went with a local model we'd step and gave it exactly the information that only needs and is required to come up with the prompts that the user gave. Another thing is that as far as like El Paso Water is required to keep data for a certain amount of time, I believe it's for 5 years. We've asked and we're not held to that same rule, I guess you would say. So we would only keep billing to the duration of the utility service.
The more so a comment that question than that question, but I feel like your market is probably better suited to go with industrial to cooperate. Just thinking about SIP cycle and kind of more municipalities, though, which I think it's just right thing can do it, but I would start with industrials, then especially, I mean, I've probably seen 5 companies that do something similar, but last year, and they're attacking that, and they're being really successful down. So you could definitely that part of the just look. And so I think going to that question would be not just on security, but how are you thinking of utilizing data pool to is it going to be yield? It's a different?
Yeah. So the data that is provided, so the weather that's coming from a completely different source. The billing data is what we're getting from El Paso Water. that undoctored state before it's even curated. It's theirs. It's fully theirs. So if contract were to terminate, we give it back, delete from our database. The data that we actually process and then get an actual forecasting of, that is legally our data. But it depends on how the contract structure would look like. If they would like, we would be able to do. But as far as like the models and the weights for the models, that for sure is ongoing. So even if we lose the data from El Paso Water, we'd still have the trait that we got for.
What architecture are you using to store this data?
So we're using MySQL to store this data. Could you expand a little bit, question?
Yes, essentially, what are you using in order to best situate the data in order to make it accessible rather than kind of more enhancing?
Yeah. So there's a lot of variations that go into indoor use of wire. So it's weather, time of day, year, holidays. There's a lot of things that had to go into it, as well as the issue of not having daily water meters per household. Right now, we are switching over to smart meters, which will have it every hour. But for the moment, it's only monthly. And the way we solve that curve is by making it even distribution between each billing cycle.
And time up. Yeah, thank you. Great job, Team Garrison. As the judges wrap up their notes, that does complete our 10 presentations from our students. Please join me in giving them a final round of applause.
Thank you.
I am going to disappear with the judges for a few minutes to deliberate, so you are welcome to come up and meet the teams, congratulate them. They are officially done, and we will be back in the room to announce winners by 1:25. 1:25. We are back. We can have everyone take their seats, please. Thank you so much for your patience and courage. Sticking with us all day. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. I know we enjoyed hosting you and having you with us, so thank you. Okay, before we continue, again, please join me. One more big round of applause for our student complaints. Today was definitely an amazing reminder of what happens when innovation meets creativity. Congratulations to all of you. For our community partners in the audience, I really want to thank you once again for being here with us today. We are grateful for your time and investment in the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs. In the audience, I do want to mention who was with us today because it really is quite impressive, and more so for our students. I want you to know who is here supporting you all. We had representatives from El Paso Water, UTEP, the El Paso Community Foundation, the City of El Paso's Department of Economic and International Development, Emergent Health Network, JP Morgan, the Small Business Administration, Workforce Solutions Borderplex, SCORE, Tech Frontier, Waterplex Community Capital, and I'm sure many, many more. So thank you for being. Thank you, that's all. I'd also like to thank some partners that were here with us today from NMSU Arrowhead Center, our counterparts across I-10. So thank you to the whole team for being here with us. And also, last but not least, I want every team member from the Michael A. Center to be stand. Warriors, stand, stand, stand. Don't be shy. Stand. It really is an honor and a pleasure to work with this team every day, and I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more blessed. They were the ones who made today happen. So you all arrive, you show up, everything's ready and it's placed, but it takes a team to make that happen. So I am so blessed to work with this team, which is really me and one other full-time member, and the rest are students. So thank you. I know we're ready to hear the winners, but we have a very special guest with us, and I'm so glad that we have her here with us. To share a few closing remarks with all of us here today, I'd like to invite our university leader,
Dr. Heather Wilson.
Just wanted to congrats on all of you who kind of put yourself out there, right? And took the risk to stand up and pitch your idea in front of your peers and others. Because this is the first step. It's the first step, what I think will be made. Because once you get beyond doing this first time, learn some things, you gather some mentors, you get some advice, you'll get some feedback, and you'll take it the next step. When I fell madly in love with a guy from New Mexico that moved to New Mexico as a mail arriving a long time ago. I talked to some people who were starting a business at the time, and I realized, I think I can do this myself. I could start my own company. At the time, I had to kind of assess some risks, but fortunately, the guy I married, he covered the mortgage that allowed us to take some risks with what I was doing with my time. And I started my own business. It's called Kingstone International. And it turned out to be successful. And I remember how it felt when we opened our first actual new office, and I wasn't just working out of the upstairs of the house. I fired employees, and I could look out the window of my office. I could see the cars in the park whose payments were then made because of something we built together. There's tremendous satisfaction. I hope that you all start to feel that satisfaction to buildings, providing a service that's better than something spilling and need, solving a problem. Because that's where American economy blooms. And you'll have that same satisfaction looking out the window, seeing your cars in the park lot, or that if somebody able to get something for their kids, or do something that they wouldn't otherwise have been able to do to come up to the business, makes you all start. So congratulations to all of you for putting yourself out there. Choosing to make a pitch to potentially start. We're really proud. Well, thank you to the judges for giving me time, attention, and all of you volunteers to be here this afternoon. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. I'd also like to just introduce another special guest that we have with us, Dr. Itani, our Vice President for Research and Innovation, who is here with us to join the celebratory part of the program. If I can have both of you to join us up on stage and we announce the winners, we'll be taking photos, so I can have you all join us, Dr. Itani.
Charles,
I hear ya. Yes, Peter. I didn't see Peter. Yes, there's Peter. Pete, you're behind me. Yes, Pete. Peter. Let's get Peter chips well. We're waiting for one small deep step. Okay. Drum roll, please. The time we've been waiting for. In third place, the team from Alspace. Congratulations!
Do it. Keep going.
Keep clapping, keep clapping. The team is the winner of the $1,000 contribution on behalf of the Mike Loya Center for Innovation and Commerce. We all can come to see. Yeah, you can not. We'll get you a chance. We'll give you a chance to come back up. In second place, drum roll, please. Sebastián Delgado with Ghost Design and Manufacturing.
He's almost there. He's almost there.
Give it a second.
And Sebastian is the recipient of the $2,000 award on behalf of And my heart is pounding. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Big drum roll. The winner of our fall 2025 minors competition is Carlos Castro with Sense Q. Carlos is the winner of our $3,000 prize on behalf of the Mike Loya Center.
Hi.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the winners. I heard a lot of conversation of people who are interested in partnering with each and every student that is here. So please do not leave. There's a lot of people waiting to speak with you. At this time, we do invite any of the additional winners to come back up to your families, with your teams, to celebrate and take additional pictures. We also have another backdrop out in the front. Thank you so much for being here. This does mark the end of our competition. Thank you so much. I want everybody to give me a pick sack. And what do you say? Go Miners! Thank you for being here. Good luck.
Let's do it.